Good morning, class, and welcome to the second lesson on our broad topic digital techniques for fostering participation of social groups, especially women, in the protection and promotion of diversities of cultural expressions. I am your regular facilitator, Fred Awaah, and we are taking this second lesson from Accra, Ghana, where I am resident. Oh, I can see you already liking what adorns me. This is called the smoke and is the traditional wear of the people of Upper East of Ghana, where I come from. Today we would be looking at uh, platforms that helps in promoting African culture. Last week, you will recall we looked at digital tools and techniques for promoting African culture. This week, we will be looking at platforms. After recording your videos, after snapping your cultural pictures and all of the festivals that we learned in lesson number one, it is not enough to leave them in your room or on your pen drive or whichever storage device that you may have. It is important that after all of this, you are able to upload them onto a platform where they would remain for others throughout the world to see and understand what cultural practices are in our country or continent at large. So today we'll be looking at digital platforms that promote African culture. You will recall that last week I told you that times back Africans relied largely on oral tradition and also observation as the major sources of preserving our culture. However, there seemed to be a departure with the upsurge of technology. So this topic basically is to let us see how technology has come to enhance the preservation of our culture. So quickly, we'll be looking at the following. We are supposed to learn in this lesson or identify some storage devices for storing our cultural values and practices. Number two, identify digital platforms that would promote our culture. And also, finally, have some practical session on how to upload our cultural practices on platforms that will let them stay long. So, number one, we'll look at some digital storage devices. A number of them would be considered, but I would emphasize on just two. So the first is the hard disk, which is a memory hardware device usually attached to your computer that helps in the storage of whichever facility, whichever document. And in this instance, we are talking about cultural documents, cultural movies, cultural documentaries, cultural pictures, outdoors, weddings, dances, and all of that. So the hard disk is one source. After snapping your pictures or recording the videos, it's not enough to leave them there. It is important that you would copy them or store them in the hard disk. Another is the compact disc, which we call the CD. It's a storage device or a memory hardware that helps us store whichever information that we have as a result of our cultural recordings. It could be an outdoor, it could be a wedding, it could be anything that connotes African culture and tradition. So that is another that we need to look at. And then we have the tape cassette or tape cassette cassette tape, whichever way you may want to call it. That's also a device. It is not frequently in use these days, but it is also another device that hitherto we use to record our cultural issues on, and still is relevant, though, depending on which location of Africa you may find yourself in. And finally, and the most easy and modern and recommended is the pen drive. It is very cute. You can transport it on yourself wherever you go. And after videoing the cultural activity, videoing the dances, videoing the movie, videoing or snapping funerals, and or any other thing that has to do cooking, dancing, outdoors, birthdays, whatever has to do with the cultural identity of Africa. After getting all of those done, it is important to to inform you that the pen drive is also another that you can use to record these cultural events and activities. I think by now you would be say you'd have reasoned that the course is not as difficult as you may be thinking it is because after all you know all of these. These are things that you have been using over time, and if you haven't, I have told you now, so I know that you can find them practically and then get to use them in uploading all of the activities that we did in chapter 1, or our first lesson, digital tools and techniques for promoting African culture. So, you have a question at this juncture? Maybe when we meet in the virtual class on Saturday, face to face, you can ask me and I will respond to them, or we will together find solutions to issues that bother you. But in the meantime, remember in the first lesson we said you can use every kind of camera, video camera, you can use your phone camera, traditional camera, you can use spy camera, you can use the CCTV. All of these are devices that you can use to record cultural activities. In this portion, we have also looked at how to upload all of what we have done in lesson 1 onto a storage device. And we have looked at diverse kinds of storage devices, including the pen drive, tape cassette, the CD, and then hard disk. But these two, ladies and gentlemen, are not enough to help us in preserving our cultural activities. For cultural activities to be properly preserved and promoted, it is important that others throughout the world get to know what represents African culture. It is in line with this that we need to look at digital platforms that promote and preserve African culture. So, what are the platforms? The major one and the most recommended are websites, so that if you have a website or a blog, every cultural activity that pertains with you as an individual, with your family, with your society, with your country, or Africa as a whole, you can document them using all of the processes we have learned from our previous lesson, that was last week, what we have learned today, and then you upload them. From your pen drive, you can upload. From your hard disk, you can upload. From your tape cassette, you can upload. So the website is one. You can also do that through YouTube, uploading them onto YouTube so that everyone in every part of the world can see what pertains within the African region. We can also do that through Facebook, and we can do that through WhatsApp. There are many other like Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to get some practical. Say practical. Yes, I can hear you saying practical. Okay, so we are going to do a little practical using my phone. Using my phone. So, as we discussed earlier, the storage devices are diverse, and on the phone too, there are different locations where you can store your pictures or videos. So I am going to use my phone as an example. So this is the screen of my phone, as you can see. I don't know whether it's visible enough for you. So you can see the screen of my phone. And on the screen of my phone, let me adjust this. It's not very visible, not very visible. Let me turn it this way again. Oh, sorry. We'll get it right. Okay, so on the screen of my phone, I have saved my pictures and videos under Google. So I tap at Google. Yes. So on Google, I go to Photos. I tap on Photos. All right. So you see different pictures. So in other instances, it could be videos. So assuming I want to upload any of these pictures, okay, that I have recorded and have saved on my phone, which is a memory device, all that I do is to tap on the picture or the video. All right, so at the bottom you will see different icons, 1, 2, 3, 4. you tap on this. This icon says share. So you tap on the share icon. No, so now when you tap on the share icon, you see there are different icon, different platforms here. This is Messenger. This is something else. This is WhatsApp. Now, when you keep moving, you would see Facebook, etc. So we would use Facebook as an example. So at this juncture, when you tap on Facebook, you realize that the picture would be on your wall. But to get here, it means you should have created your Facebook page already. And at this juncture, all you need to do is tap on this post, post, and then the picture or the video is done. So, what have we learned in this lesson, ladies and gentlemen? We have identified some storage devices for promoting our culture. We have also identified digital platforms for promoting our culture. And finally, we did some practicals on sale. See you next week, same time, from Ghana or some other part of Africa. It's been your regular teacher and facilitator, Fred Akafari Awa. Bye bye.